Remember the portal from my previous miniature, the witch's cabin? Well, I finally decided where it leads. It leads into the forest, straight to the witch's workshop. And if you're wondering why the witch has a workshop when she already has a cabin, well, the cabin is simply too small for all her witchy stuff. Or maybe the cabin is just a cover for whatever she's really up to. Either way, she clearly needed a bigger place to make her potions, practice her magic, and keep all the suspicious things she probably doesn't want anyone to see. So, let's build her workshop. I started with this box, which is going to become the little corner of the forest where the workshop will be. I covered the inside with clay and smoothed everything out to create a nice surface for the background. And this is where I had to remind myself that I'm making a miniature, not building an actual forest, so I kept things fairly simple. Then I picked the colors for the background. I wanted something dark and autumny, with cooler colors in the distance to make the forest feel a little deeper. And then came the part I was slightly worried about, painting the trees. I haven't painted anything like this in years, so let's just say my inner artist had to wake up from a very long nap. It's definitely not perfect, but I think it does the job. And once everything else is added, I think it's going to look pretty good. After painting the background trees, I wanted to add some actual three-dimensional elements. So I made 2 larger trees on one side of the box using clay. I shaped the trunks and roots directly onto the wall, trying to make them look like they're growing out of the forest rather than just being attached to the box. I wanted these trees to have a little more character than the ones I painted in the background, so I added more texture to the trunks and roots. And because apparently 2 trees weren't enough, I added mushrooms growing on them. Because what is a witch's forest without an unreasonable number of mushrooms? Next came one of the most important pieces of this miniature. The well. This is supposed to be an old well sitting next to the witch's workshop. And I have to admit something. I made it too big. Much too big. So, I broke it. Completely. But no worries. Nothing is ruined. We'll fix it. So, instead of trying to fix the shape again, I decided to cover that side with roots. I added roots on both sides and a few going over the top, and honestly, I think it looks much better now. And there we go, the well is fixed. You can't even tell that I broke it. So let's just keep that between us. Next, I started working on the witch's table. I added a wood texture to it to give it a more natural look and make it feel like an actual wooden table. And now it's ready for all the witchy stuff that's going to end up on it. Then I made some little scrolls. These are actually made from clay, and I painted them to look like old pieces of parchment. I added some red symbols and what is supposed to look like writing. I'm not entirely sure what any of it says, but I'm pretty sure it's something we shouldn't be reading. Let's just call it dark magic. I made several of them so they could be scattered around the table like the witch is actually using them. And since you can actually see me making these one by one, this part took a little while. I had to make each tiny scroll, shape it, add the little details, and then paint it. But I think all that work was worth it, because once they're scattered around the workshop, they really help make the whole place feel more magical. Then it was time to start filling the workshop. Oh, look at these bottles. They're quite fancy. Apparently, our witch has a thing for shiny, fancy bottles. And she doesn't seem to be the most organized witch either, because the scrolls are basically everywhere. I added them to the table and the shelves, along with some books and candles just to make the whole place feel like she's actually using it. And I think all these little details really start to bring the workshop together. And while I was putting all these potions together, I started thinking, why does this have to be a witch's workshop? Why couldn't it be a witcher's workshop? And if we're going to have a witcher, I'm not talking about just any witcher. I'm talking about Geralt. You know exactly what I mean. The white hair, the scars, the serious face. And let's be honest, if Geralt was standing here making potions, I don't think anyone would complain. Actually, I think we would all be a little distracted. We'd probably spend more time watching him than watching me make the miniature. He's definitely not helping with the dark magic. He's just here to make the workshop look better. And no, he doesn't actually have anything to do with our witch or her workshop. I just thought it would be fun to imagine Geralt here. And honestly, I really like how he looks in this little scene. Of course, the witch also needs a cauldron, so I placed one right next to the table and filled it with this mysterious red liquid. I have no idea what it is. Maybe something involving blood. Or apparently it could be raspberry jam, because when my daughter saw the cauldron, she immediately said, "It looks like raspberry jam." So now that's all I can see. The terrifying dark magic cauldron full of raspberry jam. And then I made one more little detail for the area around the well. This tiny coffin with bones and a skull. Because apparently the witch wasn't going for a particularly welcoming atmosphere. I placed it next to the well and added some more bones inside. And this is probably the point where we can officially say that this is no longer just a cute little witch's workshop. Something much darker is going on here. And after adding all the little details, this is what the witch's workshop looks like. We have the forest in the background, the old trees, the mushrooms, the work table, all the potions and spells, the cauldron, and of course, the mysterious little well. And if you look inside the well, you'll find 2 little skulls and some bones. So apparently, the well has been used for more than just whatever witches normally use wells for. I already managed to break the well myself, but it looks like someone else has been hiding their secrets down there too. And now the portal from the witch's cabin finally has somewhere to go. It leads here, to the witch's workshop, hidden deep in the forest. I'm really happy with how this one turned out, and that's it for this project. I hope you enjoyed watching me turn this little empty box into the witch's secret workshop. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see where this story goes next. And if you've watched the previous miniature, you already know that there's a portal connecting the two. So this little story is definitely not over yet. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.